Hey there action figure fans, this is Wesatron. Today we're going to be doing another do-it-yourself video, and this time we're going to work on joint repair. Now, as far as loose joints go, you don't have a whole lot of options. There's a lot of things that you can do, but a lot of them have several drawbacks. Traditionally, I have always tried to use super glue to fix joints, and there's a lot of tutorials out there about how to do that, basically like coating the ball joint or working it into the swivel hinge, whatever. But the risk is you could fuse a joint completely and it could break, which I have done in the past and I would like to avoid in the future. So today I'm trying something new, and it's using future floor polish as a type of hardening substance. So basically I've been looking for a future product, and they don't make Future anymore, but Pledge bought out Future, and they don't put it, as far as I can tell, on the bottle anymore. So I think I've got the right stuff. If not, I guess I won't be posting this video and you'll never know anyway. But according to even though this doesn't say Future anywhere on it or on the information on the back, according to the sales tag in Walmart, it did say Pledge with Future. So hopefully I've got the right stuff here, or else I might just have a huge mess on my hands. We'll see. But yeah, this was about $6 for this bottle, and yeah, that should be the right stuff, we're hoping. Other thing you'll need for this project, you don't have to do this. This is up to you. You can use brushes, I've read, but I got the medicine dropper. This was in the pharmacy section of Walmart near the contact lenses and stuff, and it was about $2. And that will be just to help drop the polish into the joints so that you don't have to take them apart or anything. And then here's a cup that'll just make it easier to get the fluid out with the eyedropper. Now the eyedroppers are long enough to get into this bottle if it's new, but because I don't know if you're going to be using an old bottle or a new bottle, we might as well do it just so everybody can understand. And then we need lots of paper towels, so that's just to rub away excess. You don't want any of this stuff staying on your figures because it will polish them. Knight Damien on the Foosh was telling me as soon as you get some on there, if you see any overflow, you want to wipe it up very soon because it doesn't take much. And that should be it. You got your cup, eyedropper, floor care. This should be Future, don't forget. And your paper towels, and then you just need figures. And I've chosen 3 different figures, because we've had a lot of loose joints lately, and there's a lot of different types of loose joints, which is good because it gives something to look at. Here we've got swivel hinge joints in Tommy's hips, which are super duper loose and can't even support the weight of his head. So we're going to take care of those. We've got you can see right there, the right hip of Green Ranger here. Definitely need to fix that. That's a ball joint. And here we've got the ball jointed feet of Hicks. And the reason that that's different than this guy is because there's not a good way, because of how the ankles are designed, there's not a good way to get in there with the polish to make sure it gets down there, so I'm actually going to have to disassemble to make this work. So I'm going to test this on all 3 of these products, and it'll probably take about 24 hours to see how everything works out, but hopefully we'll have a good video at the end of it. So stick around and let's see what happens. Okay, so you'll remember that Tommy is the one that's got the swivel hinge joints problem. So you see there's a lot of gaps in there, just very loose in general, like going forward, back, all over the place. So this one, what I'm going to try and do is get a little bit of Future floor polish down inside this joint. As I understand it, this polish will not fuse a joint. So I guess we'll test its metal right now, but I'm going to start by putting some Future into our bowl here. And I guess you don't really need a ton, so I'm not going to really go crazy on it. We use our towel just to wipe off the top so we don't make a mess. There we go. And then we're going to take our eyedropper. You see we've got the fluid down in there. And I'm going to push down on the plunger, stick it in the liquid, and then just pull back. You see how much that takes up with just very minimal effort. So So let's see how this actually works. So I'm just going to, there we go, just put the tiniest bit of pressure to get this down in the joint. You see it's got a drop there. Set that to the side. And I'm just going to kind of work that into the joint and make sure, you can see how it's getting kind of polished on this side. I'm just trying to work that around and get that in there. I'm going to go ahead and do that on the other side as well. Just to get a little more in focus here. Just the tiniest drop. There we go. I'll go ahead and put another one on there. Why not? Let's see what happens. Not like I'm worried about this figure getting destroyed or anything. And as you can see, I'm just working this into the joint just like if it were super glue. You just got to make sure it gets well coated in there. Everything gets moving around. Because you want this to sort of form like a cover for your, like a thin sort of extension. Oop, I went a little overboard there. Luckily, we have paper towels, because we are prepared. Always be prepared, y'all. Just work it in. That's pretty much the extent of this. I can actually feel this tightening a little bit already. So that's very interesting. Cool. He's still feeling a little loose over here, but he was very loose over here to begin with. So go ahead and set him to the side for now and start on our next figure. Now for Dragon Ranger or Green Ranger, you can see this hip is just crazy, crazy loose. I mean, he's like, he can't do any wide poses at all. So because he has got a ball and socket joint, I have pulled the joint down already so that it makes it a little easier to move around and work with. You can see the ball and socket right there. So what I'm going to do here is just take my little thing, and again, I'm not going to put a lot in here because we are testing. So come on, focus. There we go. And I'm just going to, there's one drop. You see it sort of coating around the joint there. I'll do a second drop. And then just work it into that joint. There we go. Just trying to get that good and covered. Because like I said, this is supposed to be sort of almost like just an acrylic barrier between the joint and the socket. Ooh, I can already feel that tightening up a little. So it's still loose, but I can feel it. It's getting tighter, so that's good. It seems like it shouldn't work that fast. That's kind of incredible. We'll see. So we started this one. Go ahead and set him to the side and see how he cures and see if we need more, and we will get started on Hicks. Now, as I said, Hicks is a little bit different because he had the large shin guards that prevented his feet from being seen. So what I did is I went ahead and used a hair dryer to heat this for about 30 seconds, and the feet just popped right off. You can see, you know, ball joint, ball and socket, just like that. So the feet were able to pop off very easily with about 30 seconds on a hair dryer. And what's great about that is because of the way we're going to coat this, you'll be able to heat the feet right back up and pop them right back on, which is great. So for this one, basically what I'm going to try and do, because I'm not working it into a joint, I'm just going to try and cover the existing joint, if I can get it to focus again. There we go. I'm going to cover this ball with the polish. So I'm just going to put a little drop. You see it kind of working its way around. Oh, sorry. Got out of focus again. Getting really bad about that in this video. It's hard to see. Okay, there we go. And Just trying to coat this joint. And you don't want to put too much on. So I've oversplashed just a little bit onto the back here. I'm just going to take my little towel, dry that up just a little bit right along that edge. You can see that, hopefully you can see that, the polish on the joint there. There we go. Now, some people have said that they use brushes, as I said. I could see where a brush would be pretty beneficial right here, because it'll help to kind of spread that around. But, you know, you can try different things, see what works out for you. You could also, in this case, try filling the boot, the socket in the boot, with the polish and then snapping it back on and then working the joint around. It's up to you. You have a lot of options here. It's all about what's going to work for you. So my recommendation is just to test. Alright. And again, just trying to sort of cover that joint. Because you just need it a little thicker. Most of these don't need a whole lot. You know, it's just trying to get them to where they can have a little bit more of a barrier so that things aren't quite so loose in there. You know, things won't flop around quite so much. So go ahead and set this to the side and see how we're doing on our figures. So here we're back with Tommy, and remember this is just a few minutes, you know, since I've started this, but you can already see that there's quite a bit more stiffness in his joints there. You probably can't see if there's a change in the thickness, like if it looks any closer or anything, but you can feel it for sure. Like I can already feel how much tighter this is getting. And this is not like a 100% permanent solution. Essentially, you know, the more you move these joints over time, it may break down a little bit again, but you can always redo this, and it only takes a couple minutes, so it's not a big deal. I mean, the same thing happens whether you're using this or super glue or nail polish or whatever. It's going to break down over time. So Green Ranger is feeling really nice. His forward and back is very tight. His out to the side is still pretty loose. So we're going to have to probably do a second coat on that, but we'll see how it cures and see how everything plays out. And of course we just did Dwayne, so he won't be ready just yet. But once he cures, we'll try the feet back on and see how he's faring. Might do another coat just for the heck of it. I mean, it never hurts to have super tight ankles. So we'll see how it plays out. But that's it for this part of it. And we'll be back after these guys get a chance to cure. Alright, true believers, we are back, and it's been a little bit less than 24 hours, but fairly close. I've already gone and cleaned out my eyedropper to make sure that it's ready again for next time. Just ran hot water through it. Hopefully that'll be enough. If not, we'll see about maybe running some alcohol or something through there. But it has been enough time for these to sit and cure, and I have to say, it did work wonderfully. I don't know if you can hear that. Yeah, you can probably hear that. These joints are much tighter now. So instead of just like wobbling around, I'm actually having to putting some force into them. And I don't know if he'll stand on here, but I did stand him up a minute ago and he stood under his own power, which was very cool because this figure was definitely not able to do that before. There we go. That's awesome because his head is very heavy. I mean, like, it's a solid piece of plastic, so getting him to stand on his own power is very, very cool. I'm so into that. Also, we've got the Green Ranger that we were looking at before, and I can say also, see that? Leg is very tight now. Very tight. They did a great job. Now you can see down in here, a little bit of the polish got into the joint there, because I put a little bit too much on. But it doesn't hurt anything because it's just basically making that slide down joint a little tighter. So didn't hurt anything, but just watch out for that. But yeah, this worked fantastically. Very, very cool. And like I said, you may have to do that a couple times to get it to actually hold, just like the super glue trick. But it shouldn't freeze up any joints. These, this was a little stuck when I first tried it, but I just moved it just a slight bit. I didn't have to put a lot of pressure on it. Clicked right into place. Awesome. The last one is Hicks, and we'll see if I can get his shoe back on to make sure I got the right shoe. That's the... There we go. May have to heat these up again to put it on, but let's see if I can just pop it back on with some force. Nope, looks like I'll be right back. And here's Hicks back with his feet back on. And you can see they're still got a lot of wiggle to them, but they are tighter than they were before. So he is able to stand now. So that's good, but I may have to go back over these again. Just another couple coats. Yeah, they're still loose, but definitely not as loose as they were. So that's pretty much it for this edition. I had to talk smack, didn't I? For this edition of how-to videos, if you have any questions or comments, feel free to ask away. I'm new to this. Like I said, I usually use the super glue trick, which can have some pretty negative effects. So I will do my best to answer any questions you have. But yeah, hit me up. I'll be glad to help you out if I can. So thanks, guys. And that's pretty much it. Yeah, here's all our figures. We got 2 out of 3, and 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Yeah. Thanks, guys. Talk to you later. Bye.